Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and see if I can go ahead and share this one, get this one rolling. So this is a video that I came across watching another channel that I've kind of shown you, Geeks and Gamers, and on their Tuesday
Okay.
night's main event, they had showed this clip, and I want to get, and they were making fun of it and ridiculing it, and rightly so, as you can see, as you can tell by the hamster looking man,
All right.
but yeah, so watch it and tell me what you think. If you want me to stop it, I can. If you have
All right. I'll
points,
let you know.
but
Here's why Halle Bailey as Ariel is fantastic and you're just racist. So off the bat, mermaids aren't real. Folklore, a mermaid is an aquatic creature with the head and upper body of a female human and the tail of a fish. They appear in folklore from Europe, Asia, and Africa. But because
I will point out he's trying to make a fantastic. He's trying to make points, serious points, and he has that song going on in the background.
I was about to say it doesn't match
No,
at
it
all,
doesn't.
but I appreciate it.
That's like trying to have a serious conversation about a funeral, about your grandpa dying, and then in the background you just hear "Happy, happy birthday from all of us to you."
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna like be at a wedding and you just hear the sad violins.
Yeah, like it's a funeral. Yeah. Anyway, I'll continue.
a lot of you keep trying to bring up the source material. Here is where the source material of mermaids comes from, the Mediterranean Sea. As you can see, we have Asia, Europe, and Africa, which means that a mermaid could be literally any skin color, but I get it. Atlantica is in Denmark. Fun fact, moron, Denmark has black people. Did you know that? Also, H.C. Anderson's original text, which the original movie is based off of, didn't actually clarify anywhere that Ariel was white. He just said that her skin was as clear and delicate as a rose leaf. I'd personally want to know Halle Bailey's skincare routine because she looks great. You know, but like, her hair isn't as red as the cartoon, and her eyes aren't as blue as the sea. But guess what? Shut up. Does that serve the story? No. This just in. Breaking news.
Okay,
The skin
pause.
color
Hold on.
of Ariel.
Yes, it's not really for the story, but it's an easy fix. There's colored contacts, and you can wear a wig, or you can color your hair like they did in Aquaman, and just had her hair like jet red.
Yeah, like
So
they
easy
deliberately
fix
made this. Yeah,
regardless.
yeah, like they
Um,
deliberately made this decision and they decided that this was okay. People are just
like I
wondering
under
why.
I understand the blue hair that doesn't bother me. The red hair or the blue eyes doesn't bother me. The red hair I was like, it's kind of it's not because I think they refer to her hair specifically as well as her eyes. But I'm like, that's an easy fix they could have done. They just didn't want to.
Also, the thing about mermaids, he does like correct himself, and I will give him somewhat credit for a hamster. He does correct himself a little bit in the thing where he says mermaids were kind of found in this region, but this is like in Denmark, which is the whitest of Europe. So, but then he goes on to say that black people are also in Denmark. Well, that's now when like air travel is possible, where boat travel is possible. Back
I
in
mean,
those
I'm
times,
sure there were
yeah, but it
black
wasn't
people
as drastic
in
as
Denmark,
to
but yeah,
today. And so that would have actually been seen as a very, very, very small, if any, because I mean,
you might
even
have
in,
had like one, maybe two.
yeah,
Like how it refers to them in if you
and it probably
watch
wouldn't, yeah, I'm
Robin
not
Hood
gonna,
Men in Tights, they refer to black people as the painted man.
I have not
So
seen it, but now I kind of want to.
it's it's a comedy skit of Robin Hood.
Oh yeah,
Highly recommend it. It's got Snape from Harry Potter. I can't think of the actor's name. Really, really good. I would highly recommend it.
oh yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, no, this guy, he tries to make good points and then, but then refutes his own points and then tells you to shut up when he refutes his own points. Like
Okay,
he's mad. He's mad that he essentially caught himself in a lie. So let's go
hey,
back
he
to,
tried. He
yeah,
tried.
yeah, he tried. Let's go back to Mr. G-Force and see what he says.
Yeah.
Serves absolutely nothing to the plot of The Little Mermaid. And that brings us to the next stupid fucking point that racists keep bringing up. What if the roles were reversed? What if Mulan was white? What if Princess Tiana was white? You're dense, Mulan. Chinese, based on the traditional Chinese poem, The Ballad of Mulan. In this story and movie adaptation, her ethnicity has literally everything to do with the story of everything. It is set in China. Mulan is Chinese. Tiana is based off of Chef Leah Chase, a real person. This movie is also entirely rooted in the fact that she is a black woman in 1920s New Orleans. The social commentary there that you might find upon rewatching it is that she's not taken seriously because not only is she a woman in poverty, but she's also black. So what's the difference between those aforementioned?
I'm gonna stop it right there. Aren't white people in China? Like makes the point that black people are in Denmark. So aren't white people, black people, aren't all kinds of races in China now? Because
I
that's the
was
same
gonna
kind of point he
say,
makes in Denmark. So
no, no,
why
no, no.
not? Why is it
I was
only
gonna tell,
applicable
I
in
was gonna tell
Denmark?
you to pause it for the same reason because I'm like, I mean,
He refutes his own points.
you can, yeah, you can still do it and still have them be white. You can have them be any race at all. You can have a white African American play an African American part. They're
Yeah, yeah,
legally an African American because they were born and raised there.
yeah. T'Challa could be
So
white. No, no. In fact, in the Marvel comics, they actually it's. I love this character. They kind of hinted. They made fun of him in MCU. But his name, but this character's name is the White Wolf, and he is the adopted brother of T'Challa. And it's
mhm,
kind of like the Iron Fist story where he's like in a plane, crashes. He's the only survivor. However, it's like T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, finds him and takes him in, and he's highly scrutinized against because he's the only white guy there, which I
hey,
find,
that's fine.
yeah, I know he's white, so it's his
I mean,
fault.
he became the White Wolf, so he became
I know he's
someone.
essentially like he's sometimes an alias, sometimes an enemy to Black Panther. It's an interesting dynamic because he's his brother, but not
Yeah,
everybody views him as that. It's an interesting story with an interesting character. And technically, I believe he did become Black Panther at one point. So
yeah, because Black Panther isn't really based on the race; it's based on
no,
the
yeah,
Panther.
it is a title. Like that is like one of the
Yeah,
few where it's actually a title. Like Spider-Man is Peter Parker. To
Spider. No,
Black
well, Spider-Man now is just a title. But the core Spider-Man at its core is Peter Parker.
To some extent, I would disagree with you on that, but that'll be it. We'll save
Well,
that for a little bit
I'm
later.
saying, yeah, yeah.
We'll save that for a little bit later.
Uh,
We might go on that after this is over, after this G-force of a man just stops. I'm going to pull up all the hamsters of G-force and pull up this guy. He's the missing fifth member. Let's go.
Mentioned characters and Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I say again, Ariel's race contributes fucking nothing. The story isn't changing. The original cartoon isn't going to cease.
I'm just saying, like, if we
well,
change Mulan's race to black, it wouldn't change a thing.
well, yeah, yeah. To
In
me,
his
that
in his
that's
in
that's
his
my next thing.
ideology, it won't change a thing.
That was going to be my next thing. If they don't change anything with the story, then I'm okay with it. But if they change the story to fit the fact that it's a minority as the main actress, then that's not respecting the creation of the founding work. You're changing the original works to promote something else,
Yeah,
which
and that's why most people
which
don't like these kind of
is
live actions and stuff.
technically it is technically legal because I just had to go through a whole bunch of copyright classes. Um, but it's it's a morality thing, an
Yeah,
ethical thing at this point.
and what's even worse is when you go back and criticize the people that you are trying to go see, you're trying to go get to go see this movie by just calling them racist, sexist, and all kinds of
Hmm.
misogynistics for not liking the way that they changed this film in order to fit whatever political agenda they so choose.
Yeah. If the movie is still has the same generic feel as the original one, I will be okay with it. But if it's a flop like Pinocchio, then I mean, it will be forgotten in the next 24 hours.
More than likely, it's going to follow the same prelude as Pinocchio did.
Cease to exist once this movie comes out. You have your Ariel. It's nostalgic for you. Stop being racist and let young black girls grow up with that same nostalgia. Why don't they just make an original character then? Maybe they don't fucking want to. I don't really condone all these remakes, but whether you watch it or not is up to you. Here's why.
So essentially, he just
true.
he essentially just says that they're lazy. They're too
Yeah.
lazy to come up with anything else, so they gotta give everybody else who wants to see themselves in
thing-
there sloppy seconds.
My next
essentially.
thing is, I do agree, watch it if you want to. If you don't want to watch it, not really a problem. You're not hurting Disney's feelings. But the next
No.
thing is saying that you want to have young black girls have someone to look up to. I remember at being in like elementary school, having young black girls dress up as characters from Disney princesses, whether they're white, Mulan, whatever, because they enjoyed the character. So the race or the color of the skin doesn't matter at all. Whether they're white, black, yellow, it doesn't matter. It is how the character is presented. If the character isn't something you can receive well and isn't personable and easy to latch onto, then it's not a good character. And if they mess that up with this movie, then I feel like more people are going to remember the animated Disney than the live action Disney.